Hey everybody! Welcome to Allegedly Wednesdays, where all things said are alleged. Allegedly. Y'all, there's a few things I want to tap into. This whole Tamar and Funky Diva thing stinks all the way around. We can't blame him for what happened to her because there's so many details that have been left out. But what we can side eye him about is that public speech that he put out, where he started off addressing her by her name, talking about, we're going to Ruth Chris for my birthday. We went out to dinner, and then we we're going to some other place. We're going to the bar. And then when he gets to talking about what's happening at the bar, she becomes that lady. And to me, that was a very strange way of disassociating from someone that he said was his friend. Now, if you're friendly enough to go out with her, to hang out with her, how in the hell did she become that lady, the lady, and that lady? He said it multiple times. The way that he finished out the conversation was very, very nasty, in my opinion. Um, I've always felt that there's a twinge of hatred for women, especially black women, with Funky Dineva, because even when he plays his character, he's playing what he is trying to portray as a rich white woman. He's not even emulating a black woman because to him, black women are unworthy. Now, I never forgot that situation with him and what's the lady, the blogger, ATL. I can't remember her whole name. Y'all help me out. Was Michelle? I know her name was Michelle. Would you say you like the shirt? Thank you. Michelle Brown. There we go. AT Alien. That's the name of her blog. So shout out to her. Um, you were homeless, and she allowed you to live at her home. Obviously, your back had to be against the wall. You had things going on, and you didn't have anybody else you could depend on, and that's how you ended up in her home. Or I believe it was a townhouse. And you let your dog soil all the floors. There was problems with the washer and dryer, a whole bunch of other things. And to me, that was really ugly of you to do that to somebody who helped you when you had nowhere else to stay. Would you say, how do you use your fingers? Easily. Work very well counting money. So I'm going to tap into him first. I'm going to try not to be on here too long, y'all, because I am tired. I've had a heck of a week, and ain't no telling how the week going to go from here. So, let's tap into the energy around Funky Dineva. Before I even get into some things, I did a Tamar reading this morning because I told you I would be, doing my readings, live or, however, recording them so I can finally see if they can upload and it doesn't take like 2 days. And y'all, I want to say one of the most unusual things happened. Um, I'm doing what I usually do. I'm running the story down. I'm getting to the bottom of things. Thank you, Frosty. I'm getting to the bottom of things, and it's like the closer I get to what happened from the club to her house, I literally started powering down. I got really, really tired. I felt drained, and the first thing came out my mouth was, "What did she take?" Now, I don't know if I'm going to upload that. If y'all want it, I can put it in membership first and then put it on, the regular page. Because I wanted to do it over because I literally powered down. I had to stop the reading because I got so drained that I was like this. And I believe that was a sign that she ingested something. And this is why she has no memory of what happened to her. Because y'all, it was so heavy on me that I couldn't even get up from my table for about 10 minutes after the reading was over. I literally stopped the reading so I could come back out of the energy because I just got more and more weak, more and more tired. And I'm like, okay, I could see her mind was racing. She kept trying to remember. She kept trying to figure out what was going on. And literally, I was just like, okay, let me pull up out of this energy because it feels like she may have ingested something allegedly that completely put her on her ass. So I'm going to tap into the energy around Funky Dineva, not necessarily to find out if he's guilty of anything, but I want to see what the energy is around him because he ruffled, a few feathers, and I think this is going to affect him the same way the Fox Soul situation affected Armand. So I want to look at what's going to happen to him in the near future and how things are going to work out for him because what was more telling than anything, even if he didn't have anything to do with what happened to her, there were moments in his commentary where it felt like he was being whimsical, comical even, and it's like I don't see where this is a laughable matter. This isn't comedic. There's nothing about this. This is funny because this woman has no idea what happened to her. Um, Nobody knows if somebody was with her or not. Um, and let's be honest, some people can be blackout drunks. They can. But until you get to the bottom of it and you don't know, it's best to not say anything if you're going to make light of, someone getting injured and being terrified because they don't know what happened. Yeah, he did almost laugh at one point. So see, thank you, Miss Conceited, because I know I'm not crazy. Like I was listening to his vocal inflections, and his vocal inflections were comedic. And it's like, why in the world is he, you know, speaking on this as if she just tripped going in the house? If y'all worried about my nails, you can get off this live, sweetheart. Too much nails? First of all, I need you to put the rest of the words in that sentence. Because you can't insult me if you can't put together a sentence properly. I won't allow you to. You're already struggling with your first battle, literacy. Work on that first. Hey, Miss Zoe. Said he probably had something to do with it. Well, to be safe, this is the allegedly show. I just want to tap into the energy around him as if, where is this going to take his show? What is going to happen with his viewership, his YouTube channel? Because let's be honest, black women are a huge part of his viewership. So for you to sit here and talk about a black woman that way, and you're not, you're not a young, early 20 something that's popping off and you haven't learned anything and you have, you lack home training. You're older. You've been through some things. You've bent a few corners. So you should know that this is not laughable. This is not one of those moments. Said, I think Tamar had a seizure or something. She very well could have. And that's why I said there's so many factors here. But for him to make light of it, like he literally sound whimsical at a certain point. Like at the end, when he was ending his commentary, he practically had a smile on his face. And that to me was crazy because it's like, what the hell are you smiling over? What is enjoyable here? Yeah, they done sent me the remedial package of bots again. All right, let's tap in. Let's see what's going to happen with Funky Diva now that, you know, people are looking at him sideways for his commentary. Would you say he doesn't like black men? Yes, I do make money from this. You can give me some money too. That way you can make sure I'm making money. Thank you, Philly Butterfly. Oh, Lord. First card out. Ten of Swords, the card of betrayal. And as you can see, this is a person that's down and can't get up. And it's a wish fulfillment. Y'all, this is going back to the reading that I did this morning. Hold on. I don't know if it's in the phone that we got right here. Thank you. Thank you for the cash app. I appreciate you, boo. Let me see. Is it in this phone? We're about to see. No, it's in the phone that I'm recording on, so I can't play it back on here. So yeah, it's tapping into the energy that I tapped into this morning when I started to get drained. Um, he knows far more than what he's saying. He knows far more than what he's saying. Right, the sun setting on the Ten of Swords. And let's, if you've never had a seizure before, God bless you. Um, I had one years ago, and I will tell you, seizures can be scary. You power down, blackout out of nowhere. You can't control it. There's nothing you can do about it. So that very well could be a thing. It could be. Hey, Miss Queen Star. Three of Cups. So this represents out partying, congregating, gathering, having a jovial good time. The Fool. I don't think this was a planned out situation because the Fool represents a leap of faith, jumping into a situation. Like somebody literally could have called you and say, hey, what's popping? We're about to do such and such and so you want to come out. It doesn't feel like this was a long, planned situation. And let me tell you something. Funky Diva is extra. And they talking about it's his birthday. He's a Leo. Honey, Leos go all out for putting the outfit together for their birthday. Even if it seems to be something that is classic. He didn't seem to be dressed like he wanted to go out with her for like a birthday bash, if that makes sense. There was parts of that video when they made it to the club that seem a little awkward because the one guy is right there side by side with Tamar, and then Funky Daniva's dragging behind her, and it's like she has his hand, and then eventually somehow they let their hands go, and he falls back, and it's like he doesn't want to be in the camera, which is kind of weird because you're the birthday boy, right? What birthday person doesn't want pictures, doesn't want to be on the camera? You're usually the center of attention. Yeah, he was dressed very casual. I was actually shocked that they said they went to Ruth Chris when I saw what he had on, and I'm like, I've never dressed like that to go to Ruth Chris, but maybe that's just me. I mean, you ain't got to dress up, but I wouldn't have worn that. But it looked like he wasn't really into hanging out with her. So here it is, the party, the good time. Queen of Swords, King of Cups. So this is very interesting. Queen of Swords, King of Cups. This feels very indifferent for two people that are supposed to be friends. Queen of Swords, very, very talkative, very communicative. King of Cups, quiet, doesn't say much, withholds their feelings. You ask them how they feel or what's going on with you, they're not going to tell you. But the King of Cups is someone that's very deep in their feelings, which means there was some tension between them. So imagine, she's chatty Cathy, she's doing all the communicating, and then here it is, Funky's not really talking much. So it's odd all the way around. Like, why are you like off put, not speaking to her much? Because if I had this type of energy towards somebody, I would not be going out to dinner with them, honey. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I ain't going out to dinner with somebody I don't really want to talk to. And I'm not saying that he hates her, but this is like he's over her. He tolerates her. I don't hang out with people I gotta tolerate. We say Leo's definitely talk around people we like. If he didn't like her no more, just move around. Right. Leos are very talkative when they like someone, very expressive. Well, I thank you, Derek Busby. Yeah, and he was standoffish on the camera, but this is saying that throughout the whole evening, he was that way the whole evening. So this does match up with the demeanor on the camera, but it's kind of strange that this was like the pattern for the whole evening. So I'm wondering how Tamar missed the cues. Maybe it was the drinking, or just, I don't know. I don't know. I don't get it because I'm sensitive to people's energy, and when somebody's acting like that, if you're not a quiet, shy person on the regular, this would make me say, I'm gonna go ahead and go home, or I'm just not gonna go. Enjoy your night. I would have separated because this energy is very polar opposite. Yeah, I said it's odd he's not vocalizing his issue, in my opinion. Yeah. Said she looked drunk or something when they were coming into the club. I agree. She looked like she was having a good time, and that's why I think she may have missed some of the behavioral cues. Hey, Mystic. Yeah, I think she missed some of the behavioral cues because, let's be honest now. You go and have you some of that good wine in a fine dining establishment. Most of that wine is like anywhere from 13.5 to 16%. It's really like table wine, dinner wine you have to drink with a heavy meal. So Two of Cups was at the bottom of the deck. Two of Swords, High Priestess. Y'all, this was some real messy, ugly energy. I don't know if they were in ATL or LA. I believe they were in Atlanta. So this is like somebody secretly ain't messing with you for real. Say they must have had some booger sugar floating in the air. Possibilities. Secretly somebody cut you off. They ain't talking to you. And we're already talking about her being communicative and him not talking. So once again, how does she not read the cues? Because this is somebody who ain't messing with you and you don't know why. So she may have been trying to, just smooth it over, see what's going on or whatnot. But this would have made me leave. I would have went ahead, got my purse, whatever, and got the fuck on. Because if you get quiet on me and you're the birthday person and you're not speaking or you're being standoffish and I don't know why, I would have called it a night. Said I feel like she wanted friends and she stuck around. Said I don't like fake at all. I would have gone, yeah. So it looks like we're all in the same mindset. Like I would have left. Said was there a friend? Was the friend of his with them? Maybe one of them that could have done something. At this point, anything is possible. I got a lover's card. So somehow, some way, two of these people either worked together in collusion or they actually could have been a couple. We don't know. Would you say that's crazy because you could feel that energy through the screen? Listen, I'm telling y'all, this is what I'm saying. I don't understand how she missed the cues, or maybe she, didn't think it was as serious as it was, or I don't know. I personally would have left. It's a birthday celebration. You're standoffish. You're not talking. You're acting like you don't want to be bothered. Baby, I'm going home. I'm going to grant your birthday wish. I don't care if I got to go get in a Lyft, a Uber. I'm going home. Three of Wands. So, okay, so she saw this as an opportunity. Or someone saw this as an opportunity. But see, this is scary right here. Because it's like Seven of Cups represents confusion, illusions, not knowing what's going on. Also, this is my card for being inebriated. So it feels like by the time she got to the club, she was already well on her way. Okay? But I know what I physically experienced when I tapped in this morning. And I literally was drained. It was like, so it looks like this, like by the time she gets to the club, this is starting to become a thing. And there it is, the Tower. Said, could she have mixed pills with alcohol? Anything is possible. Baby, if you think every comment by a tarot card reader is negative, why do you watch them? See what I mean about the crayon eaters? Why do you watch? And y'all got to also realize that, let's say if there was some Coca-Cola and then there's some drinking, that's uppers and downers as well. There's many things that could have happened. Let's say you used to smoking, right? And you take an edible, you take a gummy. That's not going to hit you the same as smoking. Anything could have happened. But something hit her hard, and it was a Tower. Oh wow, said your friend took a tramadol and was drinking a beer the next day and blacked out. And you know what though? I know that that's possible. I used to have to take muscle relaxers for my back and having muscle spasms after being in a car accident. And it does take a day or two for whatever is in your system to run its course. So if you don't take that PRN the next day, you can still be affected. So that is something that definitely could happen. Four of Wands. So Four of Wands represents, stability. So we're talking about stability. We're talking about mobility, right? Queen of Wands. So, it looks like she was doing good. She still had stability. She was still on her feet, right? She still was looking good. She was still on her feet. You said it gives blink. Ooh-wee. So something was already heavily at work before they even knew what was going on. Okay, so, plenty of people had eyes on her while they were out. Um, y'all see how the lovers keeps popping up at the bottom of the deck? Like I said, either someone colluded together or there are actually two people involved that could be lovers. Said that's as close as an explanation, but still doesn't fit. I mean, we're given the benefit of the doubt, all the benefits of the doubt at this point, honey, because this is it's starting off with the Ten of Swords. Okay, Ten of Swords is the ultimate betrayal. So no matter what she may have ingested, we can't forget that this starts off with the Ten of Swords. Heartbreak falls under the Ten of Swords. Eight of Cups. Um, we have no proof of what happened to her, but heartbreak, Eight of Cups. Um, somebody could have seen her like that and left her in that condition. So let's say, people come up to her house to party. They want to keep the party going. They want to keep on doing what they're doing. And maybe, just maybe, we're, you know, making conclusions. None of this can be proven. Let's say they wanted to keep the party going. They go to her house, and she may have possibly slipped and fell or blacked out. But if that's what happened, as simple as it may be, it still looks like somebody walked away and left her like that. Why in the hell would you walk away and leave somebody in this condition? The least you could have done was called EMS or, something. She was found Sunday. We don't know what time Sunday. Sunday starts at midnight, so we don't know what time Sunday, but she says she was found. Would you say get you pregnant? I don't know how I'm going to do that. Well, damn. I'm going to stop reading these damn troll comments. Oh, man. The sun. Yes, here we go. Here we go. Come on now. Reconfirmation. For anybody that's in tarot class that, I teach. This week we're doing Sunday, but I teach you every Monday. Confirmation, reconfirmation. Here's the sun, okay? Total exposure. Everything was good. They were having a good time. This is falling under the Three of Cups. Six of Swords. Somebody saw it as a toxic, chaotic situation and left. So Funky may have, by the time they got her home, he's like, I'm over this. I don't want to be bothered. Would you say the shirt is hilarious? Love it. Hey, yeah, I'm over this. I don't want to be bothered. This is becoming toxic. I'm going to move on. But this is also stating that once everything comes to light, they're going to find out somebody could have been there with her and they left. Would you say you just peeped the shirt? Ah, hold on, let me make sure. Just in case somebody. I might want to take that for a screenshot later. Who knows? Oh, man. This is sad, though. This is sad. And see, this is why you got to really pick and choose your friends accordingly. You got to really, really, I don't care, friends, family, you got to be very, very safe about who you choose to be in your inner circle. Because, I mean, damn, you were found. You were found. You know how long you got to lay there for you to be found? And we're talking about, they said a puddle of blood, like a pool, 4 teeth, fractured nose. So, I mean, fracture is a break. So you broke your nose and 4 teeth. Like, here's the thing. Are there like concrete or marble floors where she lives? Because baby, marble will tear you up. Even if she fell face first on marble, marble will finish you. Yeah, the story does sound suspicious, and it starts off with the Ten of Swords. That's why I said people know more than what they're saying. So, I mean, she's definitely, recuperating, because this is the card of convalescence and healing. 3 of Pentacles. So, if you think about going in collaboration, her and the 2 people that she was hanging out with, I want to know who were the other people that weren't filmed, because he said we all went back to her house. I went and got in my car and I left. So when you say we all went back to her house, who is included in the we? Because this needs to be discussed. Who all was there? What did they see? When did they leave? I'm pretty sure if she, they said she stays in an apartment. So I'm pretty sure, there's a camera that sees people going and coming. How long were you guys there? When did you leave? When was she found? Because I'm pretty sure if it was only just the 2 of you with Tamar, you would have said, me and so went back to her house with her, and her and him went upstairs and I went home. Because it wouldn't make a difference of saying we if it was only the 3 of you, the ones we saw on camera. Hey, Mr. Karate. King of Swords. King of Swords can be very, very disrespectful in the way that they talk to you. And being that this is falling under a 2 of Swords, y'all, somebody got into it, okay? There was a disagreement and it led to a hangman. I promise y'all, this is the same information that I got this morning. And that's the thing. You can't find the energy that's not there. I hope from this point on out that Tamar kind of just falls back on this party scene and trying to make people her friends. She really, really, really needs to heal overall, emotionally, mentally, physically, because a bad friend can end you, just like a bad family member. You said, and that's a Miami upon the can be shiesty. Ooh. Good thing I mispronounced that word, just in case YouTube feels some type of way. But him, I thought of that. I thought of that. And that's why I said she needs to pick her friends accordingly, because it seems like she's picking her friends out of that pool. Said, yeah, she's too old for this. She is someone's mother. We got kids to live for. Happy birthday, Toad. You got the devil here. And this lets me know that somebody was opportunistic because it's falling under the Three of Wands. And who is obsessive about an opportunity? Something that was going to balance things out for them, the Empress. This is also letting me know that whoever stayed, and once again, Tamar, you're going to have to be very sparing with who you deal with from now on out, because this was an opportunist. This is someone who was hanging around you so that you could better them, you could better their life. They could use you to walk them into certain doors. Because you got balance here. Four of Pentacles. Yeah. So how do we get to the Tower? Said facts, the party in my living room. Well, it looks like that's what they were trying to do. Take the party back to her living room. But Tower to the Ten of Cups. So the Tower could have been her family is the one that found her. And that would be very unfortunate if it was Logan. That would be extremely unfortunate if her son was the one that found her. Because there's so many secrets attached to what happened, how this actually happened. Let's see what you said, Shanti TV. Said it sounds like they all went out and I feel like it was four of them, Tamar, Diva, and two others. Tamar was drinking before they even got to Ruth. Diva was being weird per usual. Sounds like that could be possible. Because the Seven of Cups definitely did show its face, which lets me know somebody was inebriated. Also, Seven of Cups can mean that there may have been multiple substances at play as well. But it definitely means that that was a huge part of the confusion and the disconnect, so to speak. Okay, so Eight of Cups. Once again, a card of somebody walking away who knows the truth. They may never say what actually happened. And think about it. If people know they could possibly go to jail for what happened to her, even if it was something as simple as her tripping and falling and injuring herself. Let's say she tripped and failed and injured herself because she ingested something that she got from someone. That person can be held accountable for giving her some kind of illicit, substance, so to speak. And if she doesn't get a toxicology report or they haven't done one, I'd be surprised. But I believe she is in the hospital. But she would have had to go to emergency within the first 24 hours. Because after 24 hours, a lot of things are in and out of your system. Only certain things stay in your system longer than 2 to 3 days. Will they ever find out who did it? That's a good question, because I see somebody could go to jail. And if she can't remember anything, ain't nobody gonna volunteer that information. Somebody did see this though, Hangman. If it's not somebody who saw this, then there's footage of, like I said, who came in and who came out of her place. They need to know how long they were there. Said, I think Tamar being very drunk and with possibly something slipped in her drink. Tamar got out of hand and they took her home. Diva leaves while Tamar is left with two others. Sounds very possible. What you say, she need to call me for a reading? Tamar, girl, I'm good. Get at me. I'll get to the bottom of what happened to you. So it seems like there was a time lapse before she was found. Knight of Pentacles. She was laying there for a while, y'all. She didn't just fall and somebody found her. I hate to say it. This feels like she got hurt and people was like, ooh, party over. Let's get the hell up out of here. And that's dirty as hell. If she fell and you thought that she had went to Jesus, you still should have called somebody. What you say, was there a fire sign around her? The hangman had the fire behind it. Now that's a deep question. That's interesting. Because we got a world here, which is the end of a cycle. So things in her life are definitely changing. She's this scared the bejesus out of her, honey. She is definitely going to be changing the way that, you know, she operates, because this scared her through and through. Knight of Wands. Now, Knight of Wands means in and out, you know, not being there long. So the people who came up with her may not have been there long. This is a lusty card, but I'm taking this more as somebody was in and out. I would hope that, oh, I ain't gonna go there. I ain't gonna even go there. Okay, 3 cards just came out face down. Um, 4 of Cups, unrequited offer. This definitely is an unrequited offer for sure. Um, Attached to a wish fulfillment. So that's so sad, because of, you know, when you get the wish fulfillment card, that means you absolutely did not see this coming. You were excited, you were happy to go out. This was a jovial occasion. 5 of Swords. Once again, I told y'all somebody got into an argument. There was conflict in communication. And y'all see what the card at the bottom of the deck is. Hey, the GG report. Yeah, it is a wild moment. This is not much different than the energy I pulled this morning. Only thing that's different right now is I don't feel drained the way I did earlier. I literally I could not stay awake. Like, I had to end the reading. Now, this is the Leo card, Strength. King of Swords. 2 of Swords. Y'all, they got into it. There was some words between him and Tamar. If it wasn't the night that they went out to party, they got into it at some point in time, and there was a separation. You get into it with somebody to this magnitude, don't break bread with them. Even if you forgive them, don't break bread with them. Keep it real cute and mute. You see them, keep on going. All apologies, all forgiveness does not mean that you got to go back and deal with that same person. You should say Leo men struggle with accountability. Anybody can struggle with accountability for sure. But I'm telling y'all, this, pardon me, y'all. This is a message about a family member. Yeah, they got into it, and this was a hell of an argument. So this makes sense why the energy is so off between them. Why she's chatty Cathy and he's not really talking. He never got over them getting into it. He said, as a former friend, he had no empathy in his response. No, I didn't see any. He sounded like he was gonna giggle in certain parts. Yeah, Tamar does have a lot of trauma. I agree. Ooh, Austin, that's saying something. So Austin is saying that he's one of those gay men that would fight a woman. I would hope not, but y'all, I'm telling y'all, this energy is very strong. It's very vindictive. They were not getting along. I don't even know why he would tolerate her if he doesn't like her like that. But I'm seeing a 3 of 1 cards on the table and the devil, which means somebody's obsessed with leveling up, having opportunities, and maybe, just maybe, she's good to network with, and this was why he was dealing with her. But yeah, the energy between them was really, really ugly. Like, I don't know where they got into it, what they argued about, but they had a bad argument. And then it seemed like there was a separation between them. But I'm not seeing like a reconciliation energy where like there was an apology or something. It seemed like time went by and they just felt like everything was everything, and that was her mistake. So he always threatened to beat up Tasha K. Wow. We'll say allegedly, but wow. So yes, he definitely gives that type. I feel like he would have set a woman up and lured her into a trap. Yeah, 4 missing teeth from a fall. I'll put it like this: it's not impossible, especially if you fall on stairs or if you fall face first on marble. Um, I would just think that type of fall would be heard by someone. It could possibly be heard by your downstairs neighbor. It'd be heard by whoever lives in your home. Like, somebody would hear you fall because that would sound like a bag of bricks hitting the floor. So, let's see. Explain this Ten of Swords to me. What happened with this Ten of Swords? Because it says Tower, Ten of Cups. So the Tower means that her family was the one that found her. It was a tower for the family. Ten of Wands, Four of Pentacles. Somebody's back is against the wall too when it comes to money, y'all. Somebody's on their last leg when it comes to money. But her family is very diligent as well about figuring out what happened to her, because this is a very heavy burden. Um, she's not going to be okay to be by herself for a minute, whether it's her getting her mobility back or PTSD. This She should not be alone. I couldn't imagine that. Not just waking up and your teeth gone, but waking up, your teeth gone, and you were laying in a pool of blood. Like, Queen of Cups. Anybody know what Tamar's sign is? Is she a Pisces or a water sign? You said it's him. He was just begging Claudia for another chance at a show. I feel like he's looking for a come up and getting desperate. Somebody getting desperate for money. They back against the wall. 10 of Wands to the Four of Pentacles. They got to come up with some money fast. Said I feel so bad for Tamar. It's like every time you turn around, she's experiencing something dramatic. Okay, so she's an Aries. She's a fire sign. I'm seeing two Pisces. So if she is a Pisces, okay, three Pisces. Okay, that is Pisces, March 17th. Here's Pisces right here. Queen of Cups. Um, Four of Wands, stability. Eight of Cups. Yeah, this is going to affect her stability. She's going to lose a lot in this downtime. So let's pray that the truth comes out, because I feel like eventually if it hasn't come to her, it may have come to her already. I feel like somebody knows the truth about what happened. Somebody's seen something. It could possibly be footage somewhere, because this hangman on the table is attached to Page of Swords. Page of Swords is somebody seeing something or possible footage, video. Said if she got cameras, they need to pull them ASAP. Oh, I agree. Thank you, Courtney. Law enforcement is heavy on this case. They want to know what all, people ingested that evening. So I do believe a toxicology report is in order. Um, they could have did it as soon as they brought her in. If she was going in out of consciousness, I guarantee you it was done. And the reason why it was done is because they pulled her blood, and they had to make sure that they checked for all blood-borne pathogens before they worked on her. So that would just be a part of the workup anyway. You said calling her lady is just weird. To me, it's not even just weird. It's disrespectful, because you started off with, well, Tamar and I and such went out to dinner. We went to Ruth Chris, and then we decided to go to the club. And then when it got to the murky part where we're trying to figure out what happened to her, she becomes that lady. Why did you disassociate that way? Because here's the thing, the way the psyche works, your brain is trying to keep up with keeping you safe. So chances are that was a Freudian slip. Just like that smile where it looks like he was a little jovial, he was about to chuckle. That was the energy that was really in him. He don't like that woman, y'all. That's why she's that lady. That's why he disconnected when it comes to, her being hurt, and he was able to dismiss it so easy. The average person would have said, oh my God, what hospital are you in? Are you in the hospital? What hospital are you in? I'm coming to see you. I'm coming to see you. He still hasn't said that he went to go see her and check on her. He cut the story at, that lady called me and asked for Dr. Heavenly's number. People are always asking me for Dr. Heavenly's number. So she texts me at 10:30 in the morning. That lady texts me at 10:30 in the morning talking about she's missing 4 teeth. How did she get to that lady? Like you just ran across her at the gas station and never met her before. Oh, that was actually funny. So can't take anyone serious that walks around looking like Freddy Krueger on OnlyFans. If I could make money all the way covered up like this on OnlyFans, let me know, because I'm surely not taking anything off. Oh, you're an adult. Do better. Baby, you're on my chat where I make money, and every time you speak, that's engagement that brings people here to make me more money. Thank you for helping me do better. He said, well, that's one thing. They not even friends. So he didn't care. That's why he left. If he says what happened, he's going to get heat for being a fake friend. Well, his comment got him heat for being a fake friend anyway. Because in my mind, when you start calling her that lady and then you said she texted you and then you said that lady didn't text me back, why didn't you say, oh my God, are you okay? What happened? Where are you? Can I come and check on you? He didn't say any of that. He didn't even say that, well, she's at the hospital or she's fine, or he, his whole demeanor really sucks. Brandon Wolf, don't discount that as a sense of humor. You're disrespectful. I just dealt with you accordingly. Play with somebody else because you're not on my level, baby. People get to talking on these keys and thinking they can say anything they want to. Because one thing's are certain and two things are for sure. You don't pay for none of this, so it shouldn't bother you. Since you want to talk about somebody being an adult, worry about what you actually take care of, because you don't take care of me, honey. So here it is, Knight of Pentacles, Knight of Cups. And this, he looks down on her all the way around. He looks at her as poor. He just looks at her as a second class citizen. It almost feels like he feels like she shouldn't have went because she financially, was not in a certain place. But that seems strange because she still represents an opportunity. Three of Wands and the Devil. He's obsessed with getting opportunities. He's obsessed with, whatever that next, plateau is going to be. Ashanti TV, that's what I got this morning. That was the energy that I got this morning for sure. And then that's when it started getting really, really hazy and I was tired. Daphne, baby, I ain't worried about him. That's somebody who need attention. He just don't want it from me though. Not as bad as he think he do. Yeah. Somebody's very, very worried about contracts and money. And if I was funky, I would be very concerned because it looks like he's going to have some contracts close on him. Um, his comments came off very distasteful. They came off very unyielding. And this is going to affect him. And I think this is bothering him. And this is why he came forward to speak, because he doesn't want it to affect any of his partnerships, any of his business contracts and ideas. So if Tamar hadn't said anything, or people weren't genuinely concerned and in his comments, I really don't believe he would have said anything. But he's losing sleep, he's got anxiety, and he's worried about how this is going to affect his business. Would you say those damn candles he sells? Baby, I didn't even know he sold candles, but I tell you what, it's falling under the world, and the world means the end of a cycle. Wheel of Fortune. I'm telling you, Five of Swords, Wheel of Fortune. Arguing over money and opportunity. Someone has to make a decision, or someone was being, you know, kind of flighty on making a decision. what the heck is going on here? Because there's a whole underbelly to where these people should have never went out with each other at all. And I'm just trying to understand, how is she missing all the cues? Because the hair is standing up on the back of my neck. Listen, I don't know how many times you're going to get Leo cards coming out, but here it is. King of Wands is falling under the Strength card. All major arcanas under Two of Swords. This is somebody losing their footing and their grounding, worried about how things are going to look, how people are going to view their actions. This is him being very, very defensive. But notice I said there's something going on with money here and him looking at her a certain way with money. But the independent woman. What's going on with him? Because it's something around him that's very, very peculiar about the way that he's chasing opportunities right now. So I don't think Tamar is good at reading people, period, Miss Angel. Sometimes when you got abandonment issues, you can know people are not good for you, but you'll keep them around anyway because you don't like being alone. Or, you know, some people don't know how to move about without having friends. You got to learn to be your own best friend. Ten of Pentacles, Four of Pentacles. Now, I ain't going to say which party this is, but somebody involved in this situation has some heavy debts and they need some money really, really fast. And they need steady money, okay? Not just hitting the lick. They need steady money. Said Funky is mad he's not actually a celebrity. He's a public figure somewhat, but gets his notoriety from his associations, jealousy and envy. Yeah, some Ten of Wands, like that's a lot of heavy burdens attached to money. Right, so you got to learn when to uninvite people and when to engage, right? Queen of Swords, Queen of Cups. So what that tells me is Tamar got to do a better job on reading the room in general, because it's like she can be a sweetheart, but that mouth gets her in trouble. And when you're dealing with somebody that already, you know, don't like you, or people that's tolerating you, because this feels like she was, you know, out with people that was just like, Queen of Pentacles though, but she's way more stable when it comes to working with somebody and getting the opportunity. And this is what this feels like. Like he was willing to hang out with her because it's good for business. Six of Cups. There's a person involved in this situation, because Six of Cups is a card of the past, and somebody has a history with the law. May have even done something like this before. So I think Tamar's going through a midlife crisis of sorts. Well, Tamar has been popping off for years. So when did the midlife crisis start? She's actually, believe it or not, it seems like she's more quiet now than she's been in a long time. But for those of y'all, if y'all remember when I tapped into her energy with that whole thing with Krishan, and I said that she has to, you know, clean up her group, you know, get the snakes out of her group. She really does need to clean up her friends group. How long ago was that with her and Krishan and James? Because I said that back then. She's got to clear out her friends group. This is a card of self-defense and moving forward. Self-defense and moving forward, excuse me. Okay, Pam, you said you remember that. Yeah, I said back then, she needs to get control of her life and change her friends group. Because I saw her friends group taking her down. Said, I think in a way they was using each other. I believe so. I mean, think about it. If he's a vlogger, you got a vlogger in your pocket. He can help you advertise all of your new projects and get the word out so that it's easier for you to let people know what you're doing. And then he, as a vlogger, is looking to get more work and possibly, you know, more work in the industry. So it could have worked out good if there wasn't some kind of underlying animosity in this group somewhere. Because y'all, this group, this feels like a pressure cooker. Like, I would have felt uncomfortable. I would have got my happy ass up and left. Really, to be honest with you, the way this feels after the blowout that they had, because I feel like they had an argument or some very strong disagreement, we would have never went out. Like, you get to arguing with people and you know, you get to a certain place, you got to fall back. Because you never know how people are going to handle things on the back end. You might be done with it. You might be over it. It might not mean much to you, but that other person can be stewing. And then here it is. All those feelings are building up and you don't even know about it. Yep. Said possibly holding on to a diminished celebrity status, not reading the room. Life may get better after releasing the past and moving forward. I totally agree with that, Chocolate. I agree with that. This is going to force her to have that come to Jesus moment, because it's going to change the whole way that she looks at things, who she hangs around, what she calls partying, all of that. Because it's the idea of not knowing. It's the total idea of something happened to me and I don't know what happened to me. Said Tamar needs to chill on drinking and learn to be by herself. I mean, if it was drinking, could have been some substance, could have been something that was placed in a drink. We don't know. Either way, everybody is on edge right now. Everybody has anxiety, and the other people involved, especially Funky, it looks like he's got anxiety about what's going to be said next. What else is going to come out? How it's going to affect his brand, what he does, his sponsorships. Yeah, what type of judgment he's going to face over the independent woman. Once again, judgment falling under fortune, Wheel of Fortune. How is this going to affect his overall total brand? Will this collapse his brand? So, you know, he's trying to find balance through a new beginning and how to maneuver out of this. The Magician to Temperance. But I think him feeling like he was being candid, coming forward, speaking, the King of Swords. Remember what I said about the King of Swords. The King of Swords don't care about how they deliver a message. They're on that I said what I said. So I don't think he realized until after people heard what he said that it was in poor taste, it was crass, because he, at times, seemed like it wasn't a big deal and he found it to be funny. You said they might have been trying to set her up. I feel like she was too inebriated to see the tension in the building between them. It's a possibility. Baby, we not doing love readings over here. No, no divine masculine, especially not in this story. Nope, don't look like nobody was divine in this story. Goodness gracious. You got the moon here, falling under the Seven of Wands, which is a secret attached to why somebody could possibly be so, you know, defensive. The Hermit. Okay, so he may try to seclude himself now because it's like he realizes he put his foot in his mouth. Okay, so you got the Fool here, the Queen of Pentacles. Like I said, y'all, this was like a sporadic thing. I don't think they put much into planning this out. Also, Tamar, you gotta bring it down because it looked like you get to drink and then you cut a fool. Okay, you drink and you do a bit much and it becomes a little overbearing. Knight of Wands keeps popping up at the bottom of the deck. I really don't want to address this. Two of Wands. It feels like it was two people that were with her that made this decision. Thank you, Johnny Be Good. But it does feel like eventually, I'll put it like this. Three of those 4 to 5 people, okay, they know what actually happened, but ain't nobody gonna say nothing because, you know, they're all gonna cover each other. But law enforcement does want to get to the bottom of this and find out the truth about what happened. So we're just going to have to stick around and wait for more details to come. But this was just a tap in to see what was going to come to Diva after what he said. DS Raven is feeling that way. But it feels like as long as she can't tell anybody what happened, nobody's going to say anything. All I wanted to really check into is how is his callous remarks going to affect him and his platform. And I don't see where he's concerned about her well-being. I see him worrying about his money and his stability only. And he's desperate for a new opportunity, a new network job, something that's more consistent. This right here, though, it feels like this put a nail in the coffin to that. Because it's not even about what happened to her. It's about his statement. Y'all got to think about the majority of his fan base are women. They're black women. So who's going to put him on a platform for black women if black women feel unsafe in his presence? You want the people that are on the platform to be somebody that you would love to have a drink with at happy hour. Somebody that you can keep key with, have a good time with. You don't want to know that you could drink with this person and not be okay tomorrow, whether it was anything to do with him or not. Because this might not have anything to do with him until more evidence comes out. But it's still in all, it feels unsafe. It's definitely an unsavory situation. And Tamar, baby, I hope from this point on out that you just kind of fall back from society for a while. heal and do not go out here drinking with these people, because it look like the circle you hang with, they don't like you. They use you as an ends to a means. And if it wasn't for you being able to help bring opportunities to them by helping them to be more visible or helping them to be in the right rooms, some of these folks would possibly spit on you. We just said, right, I'm about to unsubscribe from his shady ass. And said he's definitely like to see how this plays out. So for me, as a woman watching you, it well, I take that back. I stopped watching Funky Diva a very long time ago, and I'm gonna tell y'all what did it for me. It wasn't even his interaction from Fox Soul, because I didn't like his vibe on Fox Soul. It was weird. It was like he helped to keep the show going, but he's toxic as far as I'm concerned. He did a sketch dressed as his character. And in that sketch, dressed as his character, he talked about how he's sleeping with his neighbor's husband and she don't even know. And then he gets to talking derogatory about the woman who husband that the character was sleeping with. And for me, it's like, this ain't even funny. This is really you talking the way you feel. Hell, you might actually be sleeping with your neighbor's husband and jealous of her because he claims her in public and he sneaks with you. It was very, very off-putting to me, and that made me step away from him, because when you get to talking real sideways, when you get mad about the opposite sex, that's how you really feel. He's not the only one. I've seen other content creators that are from his community, and everybody's not like that, but there's a small group that is visible, and some of them go live every day. And if you listen to their commentary when they talk about a woman they don't like, it will let you know that they really don't like women, because you still have to be mindful that your fan base, your supporters, are majority women. So when you insult that one person, you have to make sure that what you're saying is tailor made for that person, because now you're insulting a whole group of people because you're letting all that stuff come out of you and not being, mindful of how you sound. So I pray she gets well. Um, God bless her. But she's got to really do better with her discernment, because, yeah, I promise you, the energy is so thick. I just can't see how she didn't pick up on this. So now we're going to go off into Stefon Diggs, and then we're going to go off into Cardi. Now, I told y'all Cardi's song was not going to be the song for the rollout. I told y'all it was going to be a 50-50 split. A lot of people were not going to like it. Um, it definitely would not help to push the album. Y'all, it did worse than I thought it was going to do. It did worse than I thought it was going to do. How do you hit the charts? I want to say, what is that, 145 on one day and disappeared from it the next with the Spotify chart? Whew. Now, what I want to tap into with that song, because I feel like they're going to have to possibly release another song or release a remix, because baby, something got to give at this point. This album is out in the middle of the water drowning at this point. You said 147? Ooh wee. You said the first rap female on Vogue, a lie, Queen Nikki. Well, Nikki's definitely done Vogue. If I'm not mistaken, didn't Little Kim grace the cover of Vogue as well? I heard the remix is supposed to have Jay on it too, and that's why we're gonna tap off into it. You said Lil Kim has never done Vogue. I could have swore she did. Well, whatever Kim has done, Kim was the magazine girl. Kim was like the fashion doll baby for like the late 90s, early 2000s. So if you go back to when Kim, had a frenzy, okay, you said maybe Cosmo, like she's done a lot of major publications. Okay, says she was in Vogue, not just the cover. Okay, thank you. Hold on, let me see something. Hold on. Little Kim cover of Vogue. Y'all, yes she did. Yes she did. 1999. I knew I wasn't crazy. Kim did do Vogue. I remember this. Now, they did different Vogues. Wasn't the same country, but Lil Kim did 1999. So, y'all, that's incorrect. Kim did do Vogue. It was 1999. I just showed you the cover, baby. How she ain't? That's the cover. G-Man, if you worried about how I go to the bathroom, why don't you meet me in there and take care of my business for me? Y'all saying this is AI, but I found it again. Little Kim photographed by Annie Leibovitz. Hold on. This is on Pinterest. Photographed by Annie Leibovitz. So they gave a credit to the photographer. I just showed you. What you talking about? Show it. Little Kim photographed by Annie Leibovitz. How you looking at my screen and not seeing nothing? Talking about show it. There we go. December of 1999. Thank you, Lion the Sec Man. What you... Which, of course, is an old picture of Kim. Kim came out in the 90s. Some of y'all wasn't even born. You said that just the... But here's the thing. If we're talking about who did Vogue out of the hip-hop girls, Cardi's still wrong. That's the point. Cardi's still wrong. She wasn't the first across the board for rap girls in Vogue. Little Kim and Thierry Mugler. She wore Mugler. She did the fashion awards that year. So this, I'm going through at least 6 different sources, and I'm checking the dates on the sources. So she was on page 303. December of 1999 issue, she was on page 303. I think the title was Ghetto Fabulous, something like that. So Cardi saying she the first rap girl to do Vogue. Either way it goes, whether it's to be covered by Vogue or to be on the cover, it still wasn't her. So some of y'all petty as the fuck. Y'all picked the wrong things to be trying to. Oh well, she was in the table of contents. It don't matter where she was at in Vogue. She was in there. Cardi said she was the first rap girl to do Vogue. Whether it's the cover or to be covered by Vogue, she lied. She lied. She was not the first rap girl to be covered by Vogue. You could be covered and on the cover. Either way, she lied. And look at the flex. Y'all, she lied on a song with a Jay-Z cosign. Kim was covered when Jay-Z was first getting hot. Said there's so many Vogues throughout, I don't know. Right, each country has its own branch of Vogue, each continent. So either way, Cardi didn't do her research. She just believed that because she covered Vogue, it never happened before until she did it. I ain't gonna keep going back and forth with y'all because I already said y'all petty as the fuck. The whole point is, was Cardi the first one to be covered by Vogue? Pay attention to what I'm saying. To be covered by Vogue, not just be on the cover. She was not the first to be covered by Vogue. And she's still not the first to be on the cover. So either way it goes, she lied. And Kim has been featured by Vogue multiple times throughout her whole career. And see, I understand the disconnect because some of y'all are too young to remember when Little Kim was the top girl. Lil' Kim was the top girl before there was an internet. Lil' Kim was the top girl when people were on MySpace, even before Nicki was on MySpace. Kim was running this with no internet, y'all. She literally was considered a global fashion girl, and there was no internet yet. You know how hard it is to get the attention of Vogue, period, as a rapper? So let's give her credit where credit is due, because Kim made it possible for Vogue to even look at the rap girls, period, and say that they were worthwhile to be covered at all. Because those publications, they didn't mess with this type of element. Would you say never like Lil' Kim, but I heard you. Yeah, I hear you. Right, Lil' Kim was the first ever to be covered. Little Nicki is the first to be on the major platform cover. So either way it goes, Cardi don't know what she's talking about. You said Nicki said in her interview with Joe Buttons that Kim deserves the first cover of U.S. Vogue, period. Come on now. So I don't know where Cardi got that from. I don't know where Cardi got that from, that she was the first ever, because even Vogue wouldn't tell you that. Now maybe you were the first ever for that particular Vogue. That's probably what that was. It was that particular Vogue. But Vogue as an entity overall, she's far from the first. Would you say Cardi wasn't born? You said Cardi said Vogue. Okay, well, if you put it that way, she right, because we don't know what the hell Vogue is. Oh. Okay, thank you, Katrina. Said Vogue already responded and said Cardi wasn't the first. That's why I said Vogue as a parent company, it's no way she was the first. She was the first to grace the cover of that version of Vogue, not Vogue overall. You said I think she knew she lied. I hope she did, but that makes it worse. You said you cackling at the Vogue. Honey, Lord, have mercy. You know that's bad when Vogue respond like, girl, hold on now. Because y'all got to remember, Vogue is Anna Wintour's baby, and Anna Wintour just stepped down. Anna loves Nikki. Vogue has been spicy lately. People getting put out the Met Gala. People getting called out like, no, girl, it wasn't you. Said Kim was the face of female hip hop and fashion. They sent her new pieces of her line before the public saw it. Right. Everybody dressed Kim at that time. I remember, like, it was clothing lines that was dressing Kim that's not even around right now. Like, y'all remember when Kim was doing Iceberg and Iceberg Apparel, and she was the cover model for Iceberg, and then it was like, I think it was like, was it Alexander McQueen and Marc Jacob, like all of them, they love Kim. And then Versace. Like Versace loved to dress Kim. Whether it was the brother or the sister. So, yeah. Okay. So, I tried to pick some of the most PG cards that I could pick to tap into Diggs, Stefon Diggs, because y'all, what he's being accused of, trigger warning in advance if you're sensitive, y'all. If you're sensitive, I'm telling you right now, the accusations have to do with, a man emasculating another man. I'm trying to be careful with my language here because there's a lot of things that's flaggable about this story. You said Donatella loves some Kim. Yes, she did. Still does. You said Kaya did chop Cardi up in that good roast. Yeah. All right. So let's tap. Hold on. Let me anoint my hands before I go off into this dark. So for those of y'all that don't know, what's the basketball player's name? Was it Christopher Blake, something like that? Blake Christopher, I can't remember, y'all. We gonna go with Blake. He said that he was hanging out with Stefon, and he realized that he was given what he thought was candy. Like, they kept trying to offer it to him. He was given what he thought was candy, and it wasn't. Apparently, it was altered in some kind of way. And he said after it started to kick in, whatever that substance was, he got a tongue in his ear and somebody grabbing him, Diggs, allegedly. He said Diggs was grabbing him by the shoulder, trying to get him to go to his bedroom with him. He said that it was a female who was like his Ghislaine Maxwell. That's how he described her. He said she's his Ghislaine Maxwell, and another guy, and they came to him to pressure him about what he was going to say about what was happening in that house. He said that he was robbed, he was assaulted, and there's other things that he can't discuss until he talks to the police. but he wants everybody involved arrested. Now, this is the second accusation, if I'm not mistaken, y'all correct me. This is the second accusation, I want to say, in a year's time when it comes to Stefon being, you know, carnally aggressive with another man. Now, something that he said that I also found interesting is that he said that all the girls that are around him are not necessarily his girls. They could possibly be his stable. Thing is, Cardi, do you know anything about this if this is possibly true? Because if that scene that we saw on that boat with that pink salt, as he called it, because y'all, he said it was salt. We were supposed to be stupid. But if that scene we saw on that boat has anything remotely to do with those girls being on the track, he just set you up to be investigated for those Diddy type allegations. So, yes, he did speak about some type of sex magic and rituals. He said that the woman does spell work for him for that purpose. And if this is the case, y'all, this also makes sense to why she don't care about him being with all them other females, because it's work, nothing personal, allegedly. Y'all fill Aja in on what that means. If y'all see it down in the comments. I'm trying to not get flagged because there's a lot in this story. Ooh. So we got the Five of Cups here. Public humiliation, regret, remorse, the Hangman. So he's worried about, how this could affect his public image, the Hangman, okay? Queen of Cups. Now, Queen of Cups is not just about intuition. She represents someone that is an intuitive, possibly a psychic, okay? So remember, he said that the woman does rituals for him. And this is also saying that he should have followed his intuition, but it's like he took a leap of faith and went ahead and, went along with hanging out with them. And him not following his intuition led to the Ten of Wands. Situation too hard to carry, too hard to bear. So it seems like he tried to leave. Two of Swords, he tried to leave. Yep, Six of Wands. So, Six of Wands, when he tried to leave, this is when the Tower happened. So something happened to him before he was able to go. Allegedly, allegedly, allegedly. Okay, Nine of Coins. Independent woman. This means that he was by himself. Tanisha, it could possibly be. I'm trying to be as safe with the language as I possibly can. But let's just say the Tower moment, something that's unforgivable that cannot be taken back, happened to him before he left. Queen of Pentacles. He may have been invited or ended up in this circle hanging out with them due to a woman he thought he could trust. So Four of Wands, Wheel of Fortune. It looks like Stefon is worried about his stability and any contract that he has coming in the future. That also could be an indication that this man will civilly be suing him as well. And he had to put it on the record first and ask for the police to arrest them to show that he made a police report and a concerted effort so that he can go ahead and sue in civil court. Wow. Cardi girl, you know how to pick them. Ooh, you know how to pick them. Judgment. Six of Coins. He's gonna have to pay this man. He's gonna have to pay this man, or he's gonna have to pay for what he did. It might be both. Okay, so you got the Star here. So he's hoping to get justice so that he can get his stability back. He definitely feels humiliated, ashamed. The wounded warrior. And it looks like there is a woman that was there that knows exactly what happened to him. So no matter what happened, this man, from what I can see, allegedly, was attacked. He was assaulted in some type of way. Cosmic Coven. Now this is a bonus card to this deck. But remember what he said about the lady and her doing rituals and things of that nature? So Coven can also be that everybody in the house is on one accord and he was the only one left out, Chris Blake. So everybody in this house was on one accord except for him. And this falls under the Queen of Cups. Remember I said the Queen of Cups can be the psychic or someone who is intuitive. So, damn, what type of weird... I keep telling y'all these people in entertainment be on one. Keep telling you they be on one. I haven't seen yet where this man has lied, but I'm going to keep saying allegedly, okay? I want y'all to pay attention. And those of you in tarot class, I teach you how to not just read tarot, but to read as an oracle, to read the numerology, the colorology. Now, this isn't a traditional rainbow, but what that tells me is, even though it is a rainbow, is LGBTQ, you know, somehow in the diaspora, it may be toned down so that it doesn't appear that way. Now, both of these cards are next to each other. Look what she has on her head. A rainbow leg, and rainbows are coming out her glass. Now, what the hell went in the glass that will make somebody accessible to rainbow activity? Ten of Wands also represents being overpowered. Being in a situation that was too much for you to bear. Page of Wands. Yeah, as soon as he got ready to go in a new direction and go, he ended up in a catch-22 situation. He could not get out of this situation. And the woman, it seems like she's the ringleader. She was the one trying to check him to keep him from leaving. So I feel like that's a fair assessment calling her his Ghislaine Maxwell, because it definitely feels like she's very involved in everything. Like, it's feels like she is the actual bottom bitch. She runs the ship. They may call her an assistant, but she definitely feels high ranking in this situation. Five of Wands. There's an altercation here. King of Cups. Somebody didn't want him to say anything. So they may have attacked him to keep him quiet. Queen of Pentacles once again. He uses women, allegedly, to handle things for him and to keep things going and stable for him. Two of Swords. Y'all, look. See what I mean about the rainbow? But the rainbow on this side, now I'm not familiar with all the LGBTQ stuff, but doesn't this look reminiscent of the trans colors? Is somebody who's more well versed in this, can y'all let me know if this is the trans colors? Okay, so pan and trans. Okay. Okay. So this is very prevalent in the energy. He didn't want anything to do with either or. Okay? Right Twix, left Twix. He didn't want nothing to do with either or. So they got some interesting things going down over there. They sounds like they like it every which way. But as long as everybody is participating willingly, it's not a problem. It's when people end up in a situation where they can't make the decision. So I don't know if he's bi or if he's pan, but it seems like everything is everything. Said pink, blue, and purple is bisexual, blue and purple is trans. Okay, thank you. Thank you for enlightening me. Like I said, I'm not familiar with the colors, but okay. So either way it goes, he didn't want any part of any of this energy. Two of Swords, cutting everything off. Four of Cups, unrequited offer. So they may have thought they were going to get more out of him than they got, because I see where he got overpowered. Five of Wands is physically attacked, like a physical fight. Wheel of Fortune, Four of Cups. Whatever they may have thought they were going to get out of him, they didn't get what they thought they were going to get. So it wasn't, really worth it. Heavenly Hope, baby, I don't know what's wrong with you, but this is not a love reading, and this is not a personal reading. High Priestess, Judgment. This looks like Stefon Diggs didn't see this coming. He didn't expect him to, go to the police and actually take this serious and push for justice. Oh, y'all, look, Henny's in the chat. I'm being trolled by Henny. Look at this, y'all. Ain't that about nothing? You know you made it when you get trolled by Henny. So you got the Six of Cups here. So this represents the past. Y'all see what I'm talking about? This situation in the past where it keeps going back to these rainbows. The star. Star also represents hope. So he was hoping that old boy would be down with this situation, allegedly. You said sipping Henny through the pink straw. Ah, here go the pink straw. You said, and they tried to unalive him. He was definitely attacked from what I can see, allegedly. Would y'all say, hey, Bigfoot? Ooh, y'all, they not. Stefon Diggs need to really, really prepare his estate, okay? Because it looks like the police are going to side with this young man and they want to lock somebody up. Yeah, that Stefon, you've been caught with something underhanded here. You can't say that nothing happened and you didn't do anything. Seven of Swords, Three of Cups, while partying, kicking it with somebody at a kickback. So he has proof of things that happened at night. And Stefon, when they get to putting out those warrants, honey, this might just be that nail in the coffin for your career, because you already on a thread. You're on a real skinny thread right now. There go Henny again, y'all. There go little Tink Tink. Hey, Tink Tink. So I'm going to get out of this energy, because to go any further deeper, I would have to go into the trauma of what happened to him. And I'm going to tell y'all right now, I ain't built for it tonight. But I don't see where this young man is lying. Wait a minute, you speak. Oh, this is Henny, y'all. Look, this is illiterate as hell. I speak English, not. I guess that's an abbreviation. WTV. What is that supposed to be? Whatever you're speaking. Okay, boo. Best, worst year ever. Looks like worst year. Can we block Henny? It's actually kind of funny to me at this point. Like, why would you troll me as Henny? Stop speaking down on his name. Tell him to stop acting down on his name, dumbass. Stop speaking down on his name. Stop doing stuff for people to talk about you in this type of way. Are you in it stable? Is this gonna mess up your money too? Let you take me out for real, baby. Woo! You ought to watch what you saying to me and about me, because there's people already under investigation for gang stalking me. So you'll have somebody knocking at your door saying the wrong stuff on my chat. Now, don't tell them, Miss Ladine. Like I said, that person gonna end up with an investigator at their door. So now you want to say you think I'm cute. I'm dead serious. I'm actually being gang stalked. You'll have an investigator at your door saying the wrong thing in this chat. But keep on going, stupid. You might be a young fella, but you can handle me. You couldn't handle me if you borrowed some hands. Now let's go on over to Cardi, y'all. What's gonna happen if she drops a remix to Imaginary Players? Now, allegedly, we don't know this to be true. We have no idea if this is just a rumor with no regard. I really don't see why, Jay would do this remix the way this song is performing. I really don't see why he would. It would make, no, it would make no sense at this point. It's not going to help her. He would really look off if he jumped on a song with her dissing girls to help her diss girls. Oh, you can get out of here. We don't do Satan lovers. You definitely in the wrong place. So let's see if this is in any possible way remotely true. Is there going to be a remix here? Is there going to be a remix? You said let the song go, it's a flop. Page of Swords. So, she's heavily watching everything. And, you got the Empress here, which could represent pregnancy and also bringing things into fruition. Take that how you like. So she's watching everything, and it's like I feel like this was supposed to be a very proud moment, because this is something that she actually was more interactive with creating. Wise Journey, I'm not touching anything with Millie publicly until things kind of balance out with her case. I already told y'all that. Now, if Millie wants me to tap into something, I got her. But y'all know who be watching me. Let's not tell the right hand what the left hand is doing. High Priestess. So there's a lot going on behind the scenes right here, and it's like they're trying to keep it a secret of what they're working on. Eight of Pentacles. Ten of Coins. So Ten of Coins definitely represents, something that's supposed to bring a large yielding, a lot of money. Or also they're speaking on how much money was spent on the Empress, because they thought that this was going to bring money in. Nine of Coins. Independent woman. Queen of Cups. So it's like she wanted to follow her intuition and do things the way she wanted to do. I really feel like she should have listened to the people who, are helping her to put this album out, instead of doing it on her own as if she's independent. Okay, Nine of Chalices. Yeah, this was supposed to be a wish fulfillment. I don't know what the wish fulfillment was supposed to be, but I don't think it's what actually happened. Says, saw a video today. Academics said that he's friends with the execs at Atlantic, and they will be distancing themselves, dropping Cardi after this album, no matter what, allegedly. The GG report, baby. How about this? Chat. Can I get a show of hands for telling y'all that this would be her last album? Anybody remember me saying this would be her last album, and that they're going to wait to see what she does week 2, week 3, week 4? Okay, I see some hands. I see a yes. Frosty, I see you laughing. There's some more hands. There goes some more hands. Say, yeah, you been said that. Okay, there we go. So I did say that they're going to give her a month to see how outside charts, not this song. I predicted this when, well, actually, I said it before outside, but I said when outside came out, we still got hands going. When outside came out, I said they're going to go by not the first week, week 2, week 3, week 4. And whatever she does in those weeks is what's going to determine how they feel about her staying power and her ability to make money for the company. So, yep, said checking to see if she's worth the budget. Okay, I'm still seeing hands. Y'all, it's at this point, I know a few of these people watch me. I ain't gonna say that many. A couple of them. Some of y'all need to hire me. I promise you. Because I gave this warning. I did. Thought this was funny too, Dondre. Six of chalices. So, they've had issues for a while because this is a card of the past. And I told y'all, for those of you that are in my tarot class, I said Cardi has to watch her mouth. This was going to be a very bad year for her if she doesn't watch her mouth. They have been very offended by things that she has said. And remember, she did just apologize this year for, stepping out of line and saying too much. Yeah, Six of Swords. They see her as toxic. They're going to separate. They're going to walk away from the Empress. Baby, this was the last straw. They're waiting to find out if you're pregnant. They're pretty much already done. You could just, put your hand in a hat and pull out a number. Any number, any reason, they're going to use it. This is as good as any. So I didn't hear academics say that, but Joe Budden's definitely heavily implied that she's on the outs with Atlantic and that they're forcing this album with or without her. Well, I'm not surprised about that because Atlantic said last year if they had to, they would go into her studio and get her music and release it. They made that public as a statement and she took it as a joke. I didn't. Said Joe said that last year that she was getting shelved. Wow. Said I thought so because she's showing. Would you say, yep, as good as Henny? Put a fork in her, she's done. Okay, so the GG report is confirming that academics actually said that you heard it with your own two ears. I haven't heard it yet, but academics and Joe Buttons both are very keyed in. So I don't doubt it because I've been telling y'all it was coming. I've been smelling and feeling the energy for a while. And she keep putting on them damn waist shapers and girdles, choking her damn self. Yeah, Six of Oars, which is like Six of Wands. Baby, they're going to move forward. And not only that, y'all got to think about it. This is the second song on her album that's been released that she's been accused of possibly allegedly stealing lyrics or stealing inspiration. You've only dropped 2 songs. You've been accused of stealing on both. You said I could send the link to the video to you, Angel, if you care to see it. If you could DM it to me, sure. I mean, I don't doubt it at all. I'm looking at it. I've been saying it for a year and a half. Like, the album has to drop this year. You said you saw that on X. Now think about that. You could possibly be pregnant by your side dude who used to be cool with your husband. You make a song called Outside and end up inside, and he been outside all year with damn near everybody but you. You get accused of stealing outside, and then you drop this song with a Jay-Z cosign, which should have been major, and it is the biggest flop of a female hip-hop artist of your caliber possibly in history. The only thing that keeps this from being just as bad as his is his debut at #1 and bungee jumped to hell the same week. You debuted in Hell's Waiting Room and ended up in the Lake of Fire the next day. You literally were on and off the chart in the same week. Now, as far as what she's going to do on Billboard, I don't expect much. This probably will be her lowest charting song to ever make it on Billboard. And then you got people talking about you use AI to write this song. Y'all, I listen to Rory and Mal, right? Rory said, I believe that was Rory, said it sounded like she was reading. It's like it's not that it wasn't bars there, but it sounded like she was reading. Oh, look at you. I must have turned you down in your past life. Angel was dusty. Baby, I could never be. If you see dust on me, it's diamond dust. It's angelic. Oh, man, judgment. So she's watching everybody judge this project. She's listening to what everybody is saying. And she's keeping it secret how she really feels about what everybody is saying. So her coming forward talking about at least it's still a conversation. Baby, listen. You win some, you lose some. You definitely didn't win this one. And what I'm not understanding about artists like Cardi and Drake, you're super successful in your lane. Everybody is not going to be the super lyrical MC. Everybody doesn't have that. So if you're not, a real MC, a real rapper's rapper, it's okay because you're making a lot of money. You have a fan base. You got people that like you. Stick to the rivers and the streams and the lakes that you used to. If that's not what you do, it's not what you do. Do the party songs. Do the type of music that works for you and your fan base. Because you're still going to make money. Who do you have anything to prove to? You know you're not a rapper's rapper. If you can't push your pen, you can't call yourself a lyricist. Right, you say they don't utilize constructive criticism. Well, no, they call it hating. Everybody's not hating. Everybody's not jealous. Everybody's not looking at you and wanting to do what you do. Some people are just being objective and they just don't like it. And if they don't like it, you can't make them like it because you felt like you finally did your big one. If you want to actually get better at being a rapper, sit down with some writers and some actual battle rappers, because that's who will train you how to write and how to be a better rapper. That's one. Train with some battle rappers. Now, outside of that, work on your enunciation and your elocution, because you can't keep saying your accent is thick and is getting in the way. There are a lot of Hispanic people with thick accents and they enunciate. They don't have a problem with their elocution. You need speech therapy. That's real. And that's nothing to be ashamed of. Just work on it and get better at it. It ain't even that she needs to take English. I talked to Spanish speaking people and they told me that her Spanish and her English are the same. So her elocution and her enunciation in her native language is the same way. Said, I love that Nikki pays her dust. I think their beef years ago is really what boosted Cardi uh, as she's gotten dust. Said it sounds like she had a bunch of crayons in her mouth. Said, right, she was born in America. Said it's crazy how obvious they are based on who you're reading on. You can always tell. Said exactly, it's a lot of Southern blacks with thick accents who can enunciate. Listen, honey, I wasn't even born in the South. I was raised in a household with my very Southern grandmother. I have a very thick Southern drawl, but I can enunciate and my elocution is fine. So her using that excuse or people using that excuse for her, they got to stop that. No, I don't mean execution, honey. I said it exactly the way I said it. Elocution. Matter of fact, let's look that up. Elocution. The skill of clear, expressive speech, especially distinct pronunciation and articulation. Elocution. There we go. I knew what I was saying. I did very well in English. I was in honors. I knew exactly what I was saying. Elocution, not execution. Now, if you're going to correct me the right way, honey. I knew what I meant. There we go. Eloquent, eloquence, elocution. Teddy, you better. You better. Would you say ignore the haters? I didn't take it as hate. It's just if you're going to correct me, make sure you're correcting me properly because I knew what I meant. When you go to speech class, that's what they work on, your elocution. They want to make sure that you're properly enunciating and that you're actually sounding out the full word and all of the syllables. Yeah, Ace of Wands. They're very, very aggressive about how they're about to handle her. And it feels like she's going to be sorry about how this is working out. And I see there you go with the foolishness. Talking about electrocution. Oh, you said they said Drake and Nicki are not black, but Botch B is black. I don't know where you got that from. I've never heard that in my whole entire life. Hey, internet celebrity. I mean, somebody possibly said it, but I've never heard that. They're in the diaspora. They're just from other countries. I don't know. Somebody may have said it. I haven't. I I think that people mistake Cardi for possibly being black or Afro Latina because of the texture of her hair. Because people don't understand that you can have coarse hair and not be black. So due to texturism, they may just feel that her having, between 3 to 4C hair, that puts her more on the spectrum of being black or, Afro Latino. May Love, you sound slow, sweetheart. There's nobody over here hating on Cardi. But then again, I know you're slow because you didn't know what elocution was. Hey, from Georgia. 7 of coins. So at this point, anything that's invested in what's going on with Cardi has to come from Cardi because it's definitely not, what they expected it to be. You said you wore the right shirt tonight for these trolls. This is dedicated to some of them, the ones who can read it. Yeah, yep. So this is kind of interesting because 9 of chalices, which is the 9 of cups, the card of your wish fulfillment, the empress. So her wish fulfillment was to birth this project, bring it into fruition, but Knight of Coins is moving very slowly. It's not performing the way that they wanted it to. 6 of Cups, 6 of Chalices, 5 of Swords. So she's still trying to argue her points on, what she's done in the past, but I don't think anybody told her, as the great Janet Jackson said, what have you done for me lately? Okay, so that's pretty much what they're hitting her with. Like, we don't give a damn about what happened back in 2018. We want to know what you're doing right now. How are you performing right now? Ooh, I'm striking a nerve. The trolls are just popping up everywhere. 2 of Chalices. So it's like they felt like this was, a great relationship in the past, but now it's become toxic and they want to move on. Um, they're trying to maneuver on how it's going to be best for them in this situation. Ace of Swords. Yeah, they're going to finally tell her the truth, and they could be done with her by February, no later than March, allegedly. So that's like Pisces season. Anywhere between Aquarius to Pisces season. I think by Pisces season. So think about by Super Bowl. Isaiah, it depends on what her numbers are. To really help herself, she needs to go on tour. She needs a big tour. If she doesn't go on tour, it's curtains. Because they're going to have her go on tour so that they can get their money back out of whatever the percentage is from the tour. So if she fails to go on tour, she gonna end up right down there to unemployment talking to, somebody about how can you help me with compensation until I find out what I want to do when I grow up. We just had Mr. Walker. I love that shirt. Ooh, would you say baby mama can't tour? Ooh, Lord. Well, between her current numbers, how slow things are moving, and her possibly allegedly being pregnant, they've washed their hands. So she's got until like the beginning of spring. They're not waiting for her to drop a banger for spring that'll be hot for the summer. It just, how can I say this? It feels like they want to get through the physical tax year. And for those of you who don't know, the physical tax year is from October to February. So it's like they want to clear the physical tax year, and then when the tax year is done, they're done, if that makes sense. So they want to get all the write offs, all the things possible out of the way that they can write off. And when those write offs are done, so to save herself, I would suggest go on tour. Go on tour. But that's if people are even interested at this point. Say, will she owe them or are they going to eat the deficit? She owes them either way it goes, babe. Record. Let me give y'all, you know, a story from my past, and this will help y'all figure out what I'm talking about. So, at 18 years old, I was hired in through a subsidiary company to help record labels when they get their money, because these are independent record labels, when they get their money, to know how to properly allocate the spending so that when it comes time to pay back, the distribution company, they can't say that they didn't know how to properly use their money and how to structure their money for the company. So the company, the parent company, could take them to court and sue them and hold them accountable, seize houses, cars, you name it, get their money back. That used to be my job. I did that job for 3 years. I had to come out, make sure that you were legally accountable because somebody had to teach you what you were supposed to do so that they could hold you liable in court. So does she still owe them? I believe so. Do they still want their money? Yes. Could they possibly sue her? Yes. How could she get them off her back? Go on a big budget tour, pay them out of that tour, and whatever you get on the back end of that tour, take it and invest it into yourself. Because if you let them sue you, they can come after your property. They can come after your bank accounts. Those are the things you don't want to happen. Oh, thank you, Philly Butterfly. I try. So that would be my suggestion to her. And until you can land your next deal, which I don't think she will because she cost these people a lot of money, go back to reality TV, but this time go big budget. Go like E Network, Hulu, and do like a family and friends show where you show the behind the scenes of you working and you know like tour life and what does it take to get ready for a tour, and me and my family and I'm hard working, this and this. Put it in reality TV. People will watch that. And be the executive producer of your show so that you can get the majority of the bag. Said her lawyer fees alone plus her monthly maintenance, she's going to court for the house. Yeah. Okay, love, more. Thank you. Yeah, you said that before, Angel. Listen. Would you say your birthstone is a crack rock? Oh no, not your birthstone. Said they're coming for those Birkin bags. Oh, Henny is back. Said the way she talked to her fans, will they sell her out? Will they sell out her tour? I don't think it's about the way she talks to her fans, because I mean, Azalea Banks talks to her fans crazy as hell, and they love it. I think it's that she waited too long, and people just generally aren't as interested as they used to be. This album has to be a banger. It has to have the most limited amount of skips that you could possibly have. Because if people hear this whole album and you listen to this album, it's like next, next, next. It's gonna mess her up with radio. It's gonna mess her up with streaming. Radio still makes more money than streaming. You want radio to play your music because you get more money from radio. Yeah, so she waited too long. We're good on you, Belcoese. Here's the thing. This is what I never understood. As far as I can remember, if I'm remembering properly, her deal is a 5 album deal. You're only on your second album in 7, almost 8 years with a 5 album deal. How long do you expect them to wait for the other 3 albums to meet this commitment? Baby, you could have done a Christmas album. That would have met part of the commitment. You could have done a greatest hits. Like, you not trying. You not trying. I would have, Feliz Navidad, damn it, I would have had me a Christmas album. Right. Latin reggaeton. She's Dominican, so Dominican trap is huge in Spanish speaking countries. She could have did a Dominican trap album. Like, you not trying. No, a mixtape wouldn't count. It would have to qualify as an album. Said, does Atlantic get a cut out of her endorsements? It depends on what her deal is. I haven't read her deal. I don't know what's in her deal, but I'm pretty sure they possibly could, because they bought her out of a contract. She was in a contract. They paid her out of that contract, and they absorbed it and started her a new contract. So that could be a part of her contract. I don't know. Said, yeah, said she could have did more with the Baby Shark deal. Yeah, mixtapes don't count. It has to be registered as an album. Oh, everybody got a 360 deal. If you're not independent and you don't have your own label releasing your own stuff, that's the law of the land. Thanks to somebody who works for this company, YouTube, over YouTube Music, that created the 360 deal, and now that is the standard for the industry. It's only one person that has a deal worse than a 360, and that person was making spaghetti and fish all week. So I feel for her, because she is at the end of her rope, and she's trying in the 11th hour. Would you say, B Frost? Hey, your hubby here. Um, where my ring at? Where my ring at? Oh, would you say she got a 365? Woo, baby. You said ring loading, love is free. Hmm. Like I said, I'm over here at the first of the month, every month being a very strong, independent black woman. Let's make it a little softer over here if you're supposed to be my husband. And don't bring no ring pop either. Yeah, so let's see. I want to pull one more reading before I get out of here. I'm not going to be here too late tonight because I got to get some rest, y'all. I've had a very interesting long week. And it feel like I'm about to have a whole nother one. So thank you for all the prayers, for everybody that prayed for my family. It was my mom. She was in the hospital. She just came home today. So I appreciate all of you. I thank you very much. Would you say, let me make it softer for you? What's your, not what's your favorite ring pop flavor? My favorite ring pop flavor is VVS. Damn it. Yeah, mom came home today. So I appreciate all of the prayers. I told her that y'all were praying for her. And she said thank you. And she said the prayers of the righteous will avail. So thank you to all of you. Would you say you'll give me one for each finger? It better not be no damn ring pop. You have me over here with ants and shit. Oh, Lord. Y'all, do y'all want me to do a reading on that spaghetti before I get out of here? Is anybody feeling petty tonight? Y'all, y'all want a reading on the spaghetti and that poorly cooked catfish? That catfish looked like he was trying to get off the plate. Oh, thank you, B Frost. Oh, we are a petty group. You say, yes, I feel even happier. Oh my gosh. So we going to read the spaghetti and the catfish, y'all. I took that spaghetti and that catfish very personal for multiple reasons, y'all. My family is very southern, and I'm from the Midwest. So in the Midwest, catfish and spaghetti or chicken and spaghetti is a thing, okay? Thank you, Lindy. Let this be manifested into your house tenfold. Many blessings to you. Thank you very much. Welcome to tarot class, Philly. I'll see you on Sunday. We usually do tarot class every Monday, but this week it will be on Sunday. It's like Clay. Listen, y'all. Now, here's the thing. If she's not going to make baked spaghetti, because usually it's baked spaghetti that goes with fried chicken or catfish, right? Fried chicken or fish. It's baked spaghetti. Y'all, I don't have a stitch of Italian in my blood. I got Italian in my closet because I love my Italian designers. But Lord have mercy. I am going to speak for all of the Italian pasta making people. Girl, what the hell was you doing? That spaghetti looked treacherous. That spaghetti looked like it was supposed to be on the first 48. You said it was dark red too. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. You said ragu ass spaghetti. Don't blame that on ragu. They have never tried to unalive us like that. That, ooh, I know it was some Italians looking at that spaghetti and said, I know you damn lying. Call the police. Who? Would you say I gotta see the spaghetti? Hold on. Damn it. Wait a minute. Wait a damn minute. I think so. I still got it in my phone. Somebody sent it to me. Here we go. Do this even look like spaghetti right there? I don't know if she started off making chili or what happened. The rolls don't look like they got heated up. Y'all, Lord have mercy. Hold on now. Hold on. We gonna zoom in. Look at this. What is that? Look at the noodles down here. The noodles are hiding in shame. Thank you. Oh, chocolate. Thank you. Y'all be trying to make me cry on here. God bless you. Let that be given back to your family 100-fold. Thank you so much. Y'all, I don't know what this is supposed to be. This looks like pork and beans over some damn spaghetti. Look, what is that? Y'all see this? And he said this is the best spaghetti he ever tasted. I said, oh, Lord Jesus, she got him.
What's up, y'all? So Clay had never had spaghetti and catfish together before, and ever since the first time I made it for him, he asked me for this shit like every week. You can bring it. Tell me what you think. First bite.
Look at the concern on that man's face. He is under duress.
It is the best thing I've ever tasted.
It do look like Sloppy Joe.
Catfish, spaghetti, and Hawaiian rolls. It just goes down.
Baby, excuse me.
So that's for whoever never saw the damn spaghetti, y'all. He's so polite and so sweet, he can't even tell her that looked like slop. And I know you don't want to speak poorly to somebody that cooked for you. It's like, oh, thank you so much. I am so full. I'll fix my plate later. And she'll come back, I'll be... You know how you used to go to bed so you ain't get a whooping? You hope that your mama forget? Next time, Clay, pretend like you sleep. Okay? Now, I believe that, because you are multi-ethnic, you have seen spaghetti before with marinara over noodles, and you knew that didn't look right. But you didn't know if that was black spaghetti or white spaghetti. It's neither, honey. No side is claiming that damn spaghetti. White people said no. They never seen that spaghetti before. All of us, we ain't never seen that spaghetti before. That spaghetti ain't not even in the can. That's the spaghetti you get at the end of the world when the Walking Dead comes back and you can't get out the house to go to the store. That's when you get that spaghetti. You said, nah, baby, black people's spaghetti don't look like that. White people's spaghetti don't look like that either. Everybody is confused. Like, girl, what's that? Now, what I'm trying to understand, y'all, before I pick these cards up, how it looked on the plate, the color of the sauce on the plate, and how it looked in the pot is different. It did not look that dark in the pot. Oh, Fee, don't worry about it. You've been busy, honey. Listen, that spaghetti is a form of assault. I don't care what nobody says. So let's read the spaghetti and catfish, because it looked like the catfish died twice. Like, how your catfish look undone and burnt at the same time? Like, is the grease dirty? Was it up too high and you just didn't know? And why were the lights dim in the kitchen? Why you got the lights on like y'all owe a light bill and they on illegally? I'm confused. I like all the lights on nice and bright when I cook. That's why you didn't know that food was ugly. You couldn't see it. Cut them lights on so you can see that plate. cooking by candlelight trying to be sexy. You ain't even know you was killing that man. Turn them damn lights on so you can see. I know why them lights was low. She ain't want him to see that plate. She had them lights down like she didn't want him to bear witness to what was happening on that plate. Let this be the last time you assault that man that way. That is so not nice. All right. Spaghetti. I need you to talk to me, Spaghetti. What happened, Spaghetti? You can tell me. You can talk to me. I ain't going to say you said nothing. I've already talked to the bottle. I've talked to the flip-flop. I've talked to a wig. I got you. Come on, Spaghetti. Tell me what's going on, Spaghetti. Talk. Oh, Lord. The Spaghetti is scared. They don't even want to talk. How did he really feel about the damn Spaghetti? Ace of Cups in reverse. He ain't like that damn Spaghetti at all. He was trying not to hurt your feelings. But this is what I'm concerned about. Why is the High Priestess in reverse? What the hell is going on with the Spaghetti? Lord, the Spaghetti is talking. It is loud. The Spaghetti is being messy. Why is the High Priestess in reverse with this Spaghetti? Because he don't like this damn Spaghetti. Allegedly. Now, I've been warning you, sir. Okay? Don't you let this happen. The Empress. Don't you let this happen. Death. That will be an ends to a means because something is ending permanently in somebody's life. Oh, cash. Now he going to be paying hate support. I'm done. 5 of Wands. Y'all, the Spaghetti about to get messy. 5 of Wands is physical altercation, fighting, getting into it. So, first of all, y'all been together 6 minutes, okay? Is anybody forgetting that this relationship is like barely a month old? Why are we watching this many episodes in the seasons of y'all life and it's only been a month? And then you doing stuff like this to that man, forcing him to choke down this landfill material with noodles. So you got the 2 of Cups here, the Lovers, and the 7 of Wands. Y'all, this is what they want us to see. 2 of Cups and the Lovers. Why is the 7 of Wands peeking out? That's a card of being defensive. Y'all ain't getting along the way y'all want us to believe y'all getting along, allegedly. So, 10 of Pentacles. 10 of Swords. So, allegedly the Spaghetti is saying that you will betray this person for money. Says she should have just ordered DoorDash. This Spaghetti feels very intentional. Oh, thank you, Dr. Jonathan. Two of Pentacles, Two of Cups. Y'all, they go back and forth a lot. This feels combative. It is not the way that they want people to think it is. And I'm not saying like physically combative, but it's like it's a battle of the minds. Said Clay signed to Death Row Records, being with me. Oh, says she throwing that, ooh, that pass around. Oh Lord, trust the sauce. I would say don't eat it, but we gonna let the sauce keep on talking, okay? Cause it's like the sauce is explaining to me that he's not as controllable as she wants him to be. They go back and forth. It's like a battle of the wheels. Knight of Cups. So he may not have even really been into her like that. But it looks like, you know, when he did talk to her, it was a strategy to how they ended up kicking it. And I'm not saying that he doesn't think that she's beautiful or anything like that. It just feels like this wasn't something that was on his bingo card. Like he wasn't, you know, thinking like, I got to get over there and I got to go do this. The Hermit. So according to the spaghetti, there possibly would not be a relationship and people being agreeable to one another without the spaghetti. Allegedly, 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 allegedly. The Hangman, the Moon. The Hangman is what he doesn't know. Okay? So it looks like the spaghetti is saying that he doesn't know what's actually in it. Men, look me in all four of my eyes, okay? I need y'all to start getting in the kitchen with women when they cook and stop letting women that you do not know cook for you. Vice versa, same thing on the other side. But men, okay? Listen to what I'm telling you, especially if you are dealing with a Hispanic woman or a black woman from the South. You better learn about her lineage and where she comes from and her customs. Because she could come from a family that practices certain things that your family doesn't practice. And you need to be sure that you are in agreement with those things. Most people in the black community, especially if they have Southern roots or they were raised by their grandmother, black men don't just go around eating people red sauce. Okay, this is the reason why. Stop just letting folks just feed you any damn thing. Because this is your hangman. And it falls right on top of the high priestess in reverse. Yeah, drinking the lemonade or the beer. Because unfortunately, you could be drinking a cocktail, lemonade, sweet tea, and people can mark your drink by putting their urine in your drink. I hate to say it, it's disgusting, but people do that to dominate and control by putting their essence in things that you consume because it binds you to them. Get up and be nosy and go and look and see what people are doing. Do not just let new people give you stuff. Said, I wonder if Meg is still drunk allegedly. Ooh-wee. Yeah, Moonchild, it is nasty. It's horrible. And let me tell y'all something. All spell work has an expiration date. I don't care what it is that you're doing. Eventually, it starts to wear off. People develop a tolerance, and it breaks down, and it backfires. And when it backfires, it's ugly. You don't know how bad it can be. Women, eventually, your cycle changes, your hormones changes, and as your hormones start to diminish, that spell work is not as powerful as it used to be. So all of that stuff has an expiration date. So how do you get rid of spells? First thing first, you have to do a lot of spiritual cleansing. You have to stop, having relations with that person. You have to stop eating their food. And depending on how much you've ingested, it may take that long to get it off of you. But when it breaks, people can lose their lives. And this is why folks should never do it. Because you can make somebody so obsessed with you that they will love you to death. So I will always tell you to never do a love spell. Stay away from them. Don't do it. Leave it alone. Let people make their own decisions. Let people choose you because they want to choose you. Because I promise you, when the spell breaks, you may have literally attached yourself to an archdemon that you cannot get rid of. And the only way you can get rid of it is resting in peace. Or possibly pieces. You said some women get beat up by the man. A lot of them do. I'm actually glad you said that. A lot of these women, and I'm not trying to minimize anybody's abuse, because some people really do have heinous people that they're in relationships with that are abusive. But a lot of this abuse, talk to these people and find out more about what's going on. And I will guarantee you, when you get to talking to that person, you'll find out if they burnt candles on them, if they put them on the altar, if they did this, if they did that. And when you hear those types of things, you know that this is a backfire from them putting that person on their altar, putting stuff in the food, burning candles on them, burying stuff, and on and on and on and on it goes. It always backfires in the long run. It's a terrible idea. And this is a year that a lot of spell work is, well, no, not a lot. Pretty much spell work overall is dissolving this year. People are paying for stealing people's free will this year. This is the worst year ever to do something against somebody's will. You say pretty much a craft. 9 of Wands, the wounded warrior. So if her plan is to try to get pregnant, it's not going to work out the way that she wants it to work out. Something about the situation will turn difficult because it's something that was done against, higher spiritual judgment. And I hope that somebody around him really pulls him to the side and talk to him. The son, it's like she's trying to get the upper hand, allegedly, in a situation. Make a situation more comfortable for her. But 5 of Wands, that's not what's going to happen. She signed up for a terrible uphill battle. What I say? Heartbreak, Knight of Pentacles, independent woman. Nine of Pentacles. She's going to end up on her own and broke. So everything that she wants out of this situation is what she's absolutely not going to get. Y'all, let this be a lesson to you, because you don't have to do everything to know the consequence of it. Let this be a lesson to you to stay away from bending people's spiritual will. This by hook or crook, by any means necessary, don't do it. It said, is Carly Red going to jail? I don't know, baby. I'm not going to tap into Carly Red tonight because, like I said, I got a really long day tomorrow. So this is my last tap in of the evening. I thank all of you for being here. Damn. You would think people would stop doing this. Let people deal with you the way they want to deal with you. That way you know they really want to be there. This is a form of stealing. This is a form of spiritual robbery. You can't do this type of stuff. Well, you shouldn't. You really shouldn't. And ladies, men do this type of stuff too. So be very aware of the type of man you're dealing with, so you don't have a warlock putting his essence in your food and marking you too. Said it's the fact that she uploaded it thinking that it was funny and he was coming back for seconds and thirds. She says she makes this for him once a week, every week. That's what threw me. I said, do it look like this every time you cook it? Because it looked like a hazard. It really does. I would go out to the store for cigarettes and not come back. You bring me some spaghetti look like that. But, oh yeah, men do stuff like that. It's warlocks out here that do that kind of stuff. But, good night, y'all. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Everybody that is in membership, I will see you tomorrow night. And if you are in tarot class, this week tarot class will be on Sunday. Just wow. The desperation is really pitiful, in my opinion. You know, since folks like to sue people. So thank you for coming out to Allegedly Wednesdays, where all things said are alleged, allegedly. And y'all have a wonderful evening. See you this week and every week on Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Good night, y'all. Bye-bye.